Hi, I'm Malcolm and welcome to my workshop. I was planning to do a workshop tour video, but this is harder than it looks. So I think I'll find this a lot easier if I just do a little woodworking project and let you see my laser working. It'd be much easier for me if I just do the thing and you just watch what I'm doing, okay? Right, this piece of plywood that we've got, the holes, I brought this out to let you see. This is a rubber band gun. Now this was cut on the laser and I got the design for this from Etsy. I just bought it, there was a boy selling the designs and that's what so what you've got, this is what these cutouts are. There was about 4 sheets that made up this bit. It's a wee rubber band gun, great fun, the kids love it. I'll tell you about the 3D printed parts in a wee minute. Now the reason this is poplar laser ply. There's a difference between laser ply and normal ply. It's something to do with the glue, but I've tried cutting regular birch ply. It does not like it. The laser does not like it. This stuff cuts like a knife through butter. It's got something to do with the glue in it. So the trouble is, you wonder what this wee frame is. Now this wee frame is, if you look at the sheet, you can see that it's bent. It's not straight at all. Now when you're cutting something on a laser, the height is very important. If the plywood's bent and it gets closer to the laser and further away, you end up with your cutting line getting very wide or very narrow. Well, you want it narrow, you don't want it wide. And if the thing doesn't sit flat, it just doesn't cut very nicely at all. You end up with a thickening of the line. It's removing too much material. That's why this one was a bit of a duff. So what we're going to do is, I've nailed that to that, and there's wee pins. They're small nails. I'm just going to chap them down. They're actually 28 gauge brads. Now, what you see is, when you look at the sheet, we look to see what way it's bent. Well, it's twisted in both directions. Can you see that? So I'm going to pin this down so that it holds it nice and flat. And here we are, 28 gauge bradder. Just check if there's brads in it. So I'm just going to quickly nail this on. There's one sticking there. Okay, sitting nice and flat. Now we can take it to the laser. This is my CNC laser cutter engraver. I built this during the lockdown and it cuts 1300 by 900 area, and there's quite a range of travel. I'm not sure, 400mm, and here we are. It's fully enclosed. That's because you get a lot of smoke when you're cutting with a laser, so you've got to make it fully enclosed, and there's an extractor in the back. And if you can see the hose there, the hose runs up to an extractor that I've got up there. I'll show you in a minute. And what we'll do is we'll turn it on. So the machine comes on and it always resets in homes when you first turn it on. Okay, we'll lift our box over. We'll set it in. And the first thing we have to do is get the height correct. So we're going to go Z down. Bring it over to set our height. What you see here, this red pen looking thing is a little button. It's a little sensor, and what it does is it's sensing the height, because your focal point from the tip of the nozzle down to the surface of your timber is quite important. That if it's not smack bang on with a laser focuses to a point, so you've got to get your focal point just right, and we do that by doing this. We press focus. Finds the spot it's happy with, and that's it there. Right, we're going to I'm going to demonstrate the laser cutting this little cube. This was obviously done in acrylic plastic, but we'll obviously do it in plywood. But just to let you see it going, this wee cube, right? So if we come to the controller, I'll press File, and I'll select that one. And then we hit Frame to make sure it's cutting in the right place. And for the interest of recording this and videoing it, I'm just going to leave the cover up. So hit the dust extraction. And away we go. So it starts by engraving first. Might be very faint. Because it was set to cut in plastic, this might be quite faint, but it's just for demonstration purposes, so it's working fine. If you look at the back, you can actually see the laser tube. That's that glass chemistry set looking thing at the back. It's producing the laser beam, and it's reflecting off the two mirrors over there, and hits the first mirror, reflects onto the second mirror, then reflects onto the third mirror, which is inside that triangular black bit at the top. It then faces down, and it's going through a focal lens, which is roughly round about where the wee red ring is, and then it's focused onto the surface of the material. I designed and built this laser myself. I took a lot of inspiration from what others had done on the internet. Like most things, if you research it, you can find that 1,000 people have done it before you. So you can pretty much get videos to see and how to make just about anything. And like the shed, like the CNC, I simply designed this. Took a bit of time to make sure what I was doing was working, and then I bought everything you see here, all these bits of aluminium extrusion, the high-wind rails, those high-wind rails, that's these wee things here if you can see them, and the little trucks, they're all exactly the same that's on the CNC router. It's all the same stuff. You just have to know, I suppose, what size it has to be. You've got the drawings, it's all measured. It's all, the aluminium, most of it you can cut it. So I bought all the aluminium from a company in England and basically assembled this full machine. There was a bit of trial and error. There was a few things didn't fit, I had to stop a few things again. And then this outer surface, it's like sign material. It's an aluminium with a plastic composite mix. And I found this was about the cheapest stuff to get to sheet the outside of the cabinet with. And obviously the lid's clear, it's clear plastic. Everything else is bought for China, all the moving parts, all the stepping motors, all the controllers, even this controller came from China. And all of it was bought during the lockdown. We're nearly finished with the engraving. Now that I look at it, it's actually all in reverse, because when I did the last mirrored cube, I lasered it all on the inside. So when I put this together, everything's going to be back to front, but it doesn't matter, it's just a demonstration. About to start cutting now. The hissing you can hear is air assist. While it's cutting, the air has to be blowing. It cuts a lot better when the air assist is on. That's that hissing noise you can hear. This wee part will probably just fall out. I'll pick it out the machine in a wee minute. There it goes. The only problem is getting them out now. At some point I will make some kind of catch tray for underneath to catch all the wee bits. There is a bit of MDF in there just now to catch the bits and bobs that I was getting when I was making the little gun, but it really needs something a bit more permanent. Just like, this is called a knife bed. Hence it looks like samurai sword blades, but it's, call it a knife bed. I'll get that one in there. Oh, can I reach it? There we go. And here we have. Here we go. I'll put it together. That wee bit goes there. That bit goes there. Place that right there. And a little piece goes there. This was obviously designed for material 3mm thick, but this plywood is more like 2.8. That's why it's a little slack. A little spot of super glue will hold it together nicely. When lazing timber you create a lot of smoke, so you need to get rid of it, and that's where this duct runs up into this wee box up here. This box is two kitchen extractors that I salvaged and assembled them into the box. I connected them together to where both controllers are right here, and I just extended their wires. I bought this flex so that the buttons could be further away from the actual motors themselves. So the two of them are mounted here on the wall, and I just press those buttons. On comes the dust extraction. I've actually taken the lid off. I don't know if you can see the two motors underneath, and that's pretty much it. They pulls the smoke out nicely. Works great. So that was a little demonstration of the laser cutter engraver with a little box business card. With this you would put your email address or whatever your business on that. That was what that was for. Plus it's a little toy, folk can play with it. But the next job I'm going to do is it's like a little arch top section for a door, a front door of the neighbour's house. It'll need cut, all the parts cut on the machine because they're curved, and I'll show you me doing that, and I'll talk a bit more about this machine, the router, and how I went about building it, and how I've had to construct all my dust extraction and everything to go with it. And there we go, that's what I'll do, and I'll talk about it the next time. See you later, bye bye.